I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The barefoot king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith is strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair and broke your throne, and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I could listen to you all day, all night. And to hear that beautiful voice of your daughter. Oh,
Perfectly timed.
perfectly.
Perfectly timed.
You know, that actually gave new meaning to that song. You know, it's hallelujah for me to hear the voice of your own child sending you love while you're singing.
I couldn't have put it better myself, honestly. And it's funny, every time I play that song, I think it's why it's so universal for people, is that there is just, I think the attachment that people have to the song is that there is no attachment. There's just something so accessible to it, which is one of the reasons why I love it, along with millions of other people.
It is so true, because I mean, I've heard that song so many different times, and every time I hear it, it's with a different feeling and a different thought. Some songs you get like, okay, this is from this time in my life, and that is so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can, it's one of the very few songs that to me is both a really happy song and a really sad song at the same time. Like, it really depends on the person singing it, or why you're listening to it, or the mood that you're in at the time. It's just, oh man.
Oh wow. You know, I mean, exactly. That's how I felt when I was listening to it too, because when I first heard it, I went, oh, what a prophetic time to be hearing this song, what we're all going through. And then to hear your daughter's voice behind it had brought so much life to it as well.
Yep.
So, and then I could see your smile of oh, my daughter, you know? And it's like, yeah. I love that. I love it. It's really humanity. I love you, and I mean, you've probably heard, well, I don't know if you've heard this, but you know you are one of my top favorite musicians of all time.
Well, that is a tremendous compliment coming from someone such as yourself, who's also quite a talented singer. So that means a great deal. And you were actually with me, even though it was virtual. You were with me briefly for the concert that I just did, were you not?
Oh, I was. I posted it on my wall, and I want to sit and just listen to the whole thing. I mean, there's so many songs that you sing that I just like. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one.
Thank you, thank you. I'm getting more and more used to this era of forced technological connection. So the more and more I do those, the better, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually keeping me sane to have this, connections going every day.
Amen. You and I both, my friend. You and I both.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Yes, I do. I was in Arizona, and I was guided to your table by Glenn and Jerry, our mutual friends, Glenn and Jerry. And they're
Blessings.
The couple's name is perfect, because even though they're Glenn and Jerry, I always think of Ben and Jerry's ice cream when I say them together, because they're that they bring that much joy.
Yeah.
They bring that much joy and more. But they said, well, you've got to meet this guy, David. And we connected briefly at your table. We had a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
But what really solidified the conversation was our chance reconnection on that same I'll call it a vacation. I was playing background noise at an art gallery.
Oh, yeah.
And there were no speakers, there were no electronics, and I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. But, I mean, like the people were great, and the gallery itself was amazing. But I was like, why am I playing in this corner? No one's paying any attention to me. No one can hear me. And at the very end of it, it's funny, actually. I don't know if you know this story. At the very end of it, when we really solidified our connection, was outside the gallery. Okay.
Yeah.
So I walked out the door, and I had an incredible experience, but at the same time I was disappointed. I had an incredible experience because, I connected with Norman Lear and all the other people that were there. And we were able to do, I was able to do Imagine.
I love that moment.
Play Imagine.
With you sitting there and Norman Lear and everybody started joining in with you.
Oh my God. It was a mind-blowing moment. But again, and we were talking about this a little bit before the call, but like me and my ego, right? So even though I had that beautiful moment, which never would have happened had I not, been invited there in the first place, I come out there and I'm like, man, I wonder what it would have been like had I actually had a proper speaker system and been actually able to really play for the crowd. And I turned around, and there you were. And you asked me if I had any original music. And I said, as a matter of fact, I do. And I played you Noise right then and there outside the gallery. And that, to me, was when we really, really connected. And then, of course, we, My Next Breath and everything else just happened naturally.
Well, that's so interesting. I so remember you sitting out front and playing, and the way you described it with what I asked, I said, did I say that? I guess I just go when I see amazing talent and this voice and this music, and I have to connect. And I was with Jerry too, and she said, we both met you that night. And it was like, yeah, that was actually one of my most potent memories. If you have a top 25 memories of all time, that was Sedona, Arizona, and it was a healing moment. It was such a, I mean, healing
Oh
for
yeah.
everybody that was there.
Oh, it was huge on multiple levels. I mean, the timing for me, and you didn't know this at the time, but I shared it with you later, but I had just I had a music career in North Carolina was growing. And then like in almost like the matter of an instant, it sort of disintegrated, and I was looking for a newer reality and a new outlet, and in a way a new musical family that was really able to see all sides of who I was.
Right.
And there were you and Jerry, and it was like just this I could not have asked for or manifested, if you want to call it that, a better um, connection, because for the first time I went from being organized around a group of individuals that understood I was a person with a condition who happened to be a musician, but in that moment I was a musician
Mm.
who happened to be part of this family of people that happen to have conditions, or work with people with conditions, as I like to say.
Right.
And it was just a huge shift. It's a subtle shift, but subtle shifts can be really big.
And
And
I think the, you know, you said the people that work with people with conditions, and my mind went to, we all have a condition one way or the other.
of course,
You know, some is more visual, some is not, and and that's the thing about me. And I get just, I see again, I see the person. I don't, and
yeah.
I see the talent, and so.
Well, and it comes through, and a lot of people can say that, but it doesn't come through. Right? There's a lot of people that are like, no, I see the talent first. And I'm like, well, do you though? You know?
And you
Um,
know, it's also not just the talent; it's the essence of the person. You can tell if you're open enough, how you connect with that person. And sometimes
yeah,
you connect with some people, and sometimes you don't.
sure. It's the nature of connection in and of itself.
But as a musician, no buts. I got to get rid of the buts. And as as a musician,
Yeah.
you went out there, you took a plane, and you went there, and talk about manifesting and doors opening. I mean, Norman Lear was there, and you met Jerry, and she met you, and Norman met you, and I met you, and we met each other. That's
Oh, it was all meant to be, for sure. Unforgettable. Unforgettable. That's what you are.
I want to do a duet someday.
Hey, any day, David, any day.
Question:
Yeah.
when I say the word family, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, if I say it just on the surface, it'll come across as cliche, but if you'll allow me to go deeper, I think that I can provide a unique perspective. So the first word that comes to me is understanding. But particularly around this subculture of, again, persons with conditions, which I know, the the object and the center of this interview isn't necessarily built around that, but it's what's on my heart right now, and I got to speak to it.
Yeah,
So when I said that when I saw you, I felt this shift, it had everything to do with an instant understanding. That's what real connection is. I mean, there's something to be said about this idea of true love, right? And they talk about it always in the essence of romance. right, and a certain level of physicality. But I think that they're missing lots of other really valuable synchronicities.
Mm.
And for me, when I met you and Jerry, and honestly, and Norman and everyone else over to Arizona, I had that same sort of rush, which was just this like, it's like a combination of risk and joy, at the knowledge that no matter what happened among us, this new group of people, this new bond that was formed, that everything was going to be okay.
You were filled up.
Yeah.
I felt filled up that whole weekend.
Yeah. And I felt like I could do anything. I felt like Superman. And I think when you're around the right people, it's almost like this other area of the brain that we don't always get to access. It opens up, and you really do feel like you've got superpowers. And I knew that as far as my life and art were concerned, that I was always going to have a place to go, and there was always going to be a place for me.
I love that. I when you were saying that too, I agree with you. That's the way you put it. I couldn't have put it any better. But and there's that butt. I gotta get rid of your butts. the B-U-T.
As best you can.
And then work the other butt. Exercise.
I love it.
When I first met Jerry, it was the same way. I mean, we connected through internet, and she emailed me about a class that I was putting together for Meet the Biz with Corey Allen. And when she came into the class, and of course I knew who she was, I was going, my God, yeah, come. But when she opened the door, boom, it's just that, it's like an old soul kind of connection.
Yeah, it's instant, and it's something that you can see clear as day, but there doesn't need to be any visual representation.
Right.
Now,
through the music that you write, let's say we're sitting here at Performing Arts Studio West at Meet the Biz, at here on the YouTube world. And by the way, John Paces sends his love and says, please say hello to Chris for me.
Love you, John.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the whole family loves you. The whole Performing Arts Studio West, Meet the Biz, we all love you. So, and we can't wait to have you come visit again once we're out of seclusion time.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I dream of it. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. So we have the class here. The question that I have is how do you write how do you create the magic in your universe come through a song?
Well, there's a couple different ways to do it, but there's a rule of thumb that I always like to follow, and that is start with the title. And sure, easier said than done, but the best songs, if you're really looking at it from a songwriting perspective, that is to say, you want to be a songwriter, or if you want to sit down and write a song and let it flow, give your mind and your heart the most direct pathway to the page, right? Okay. If you start it with the title, then every word, every line, every phrase, you'll always know that it's the right one as long as it can relate back to the title. Okay, if you just start with words and allow it to sort of randomly flow, then there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but you're much more likely to to stumble because you don't have any place to ground yourself from. If you start with a chorus, okay, well, the chorus is nice. It's a hook. It's something that people can repeat over and over and over again. But what's the story? You're starting with the punchline, okay? But if you start with the title, you have a story right off the bat, okay? Right. Affliction. What's the story? Well, I struggle with something. What does that mean? Well, there was a time when I didn't know how I was going to deal with the various struggles in my life. What story was I going to tell myself about me so that I could be okay with the fact that I have a condition? Affliction, right? If I had started with the opening line from Affliction, one day long ago, Mama picked me up from school. Okay, that's the first line. What does that mean? Well, nothing yet. I have to do more exploration. But if I start with the title, Affliction, I know that the words, one day long ago, Mama picked me up from school, have something to do, like there's some aspect of my mother and I's relationship when I was a kid that goes back to the fact that I was born with something that made me unique, a challenge, a struggle, something, right? So I'm being long-winded again, but my rule of thumb, start with a title.
Have you ever started without a title?
Yeah, I've started without a title, and it's always taken me longer. It's always taken me longer. I still get to the destination. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes it's really, really fun to take back roads. And that's what you're doing. If you're starting with a word for the verse or you're starting with a punchline, you're taking back roads. Yeah. And you can discover some really beautiful views on back roads. Right. But if as a songwriter, well, I guess, and this is sort of going into my next point, is you have to really get it inside you, this realization that there's always going to be another song. Because if you don't, right, then you're going to be so hung up on this first one that you write that's supposed to be this masterpiece.
The way you said supposed to, because you're thinking it's supposed to be a certain way instead of allowing it to be what it becomes.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There has to be this, you'll make it a lot easier on yourself. And I'm not speaking about this from a religious perspective necessarily, or even a spiritual perspective, but if you recognize that there's something bigger than yourself helping you, that's a whole lot of stress relief. And life is hard enough as it is.
I like that. By the way, I have I love these.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta send you the physical version of a physical copy of Pulse too.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, you gotta make that happen.
I tell you, I listen to your music, and it heals.
Thank you. All I can hope for is to connect with people in various ways and hope that the story means something. And I'm just glad you're one of them.
Wow. Yeah, I am too. What's your I'm blanking. Your daughter's name?
My daughter's name is Fern. And,
hey, Fern.
I think she's just been trying to say hello in the background this whole time.
Hey, Fern. I know she loves her daddy.
She does. She's I am just totally she's got me wrapped around her finger for sure.
Yeah. And your lovely wife, you know,
that'd be Heather.
Heather, of course. Heather, when you did the Breath of Love concert that we had, what was it, a year or two ago? I'm losing track of time, man.
Yeah.
But one of my most prized possessions that she gave to me.
Mm, yes.
Look at this, okay? Talk
It
about
is.
art. If you want,
Yeah.
if I mean, talk about an artist. Look at this.
Yeah, she's insane. You know, as much as I love being a musician and the various things that I'm involved in, I get to cheat a little bit because there's a collaboration to what I do. You know,
Yeah.
I'll write a song and I work with these really great producers who make the production really fine and excellent. Heather's just this one woman genius. She sits down and makes this gorgeous thing, creates this gorgeous thing on a canvas, and then all of a sudden it's done. It's like, oh, did anyone help you with that? No, I was just hanging out making this amazing thing. And you know, in my little peace of mind, which is harder and harder for her to get these days with
Oh
the
my
two.
God. But to have these two amazing artists, you know, in the room creating Fern. Yes, Fern.
Oh yeah, no. Fern is definitely 99% Heather. I just happened to slip one past the golf.
Oh no, I'm sure it's a magic mix of everything. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
sweetheart.
we love you, Fern.
Oh yeah, we're singing about you, baby.
Oh, I bet you're gonna. Oh, yeah. I could throw out a title of a song.
Oh yeah.
Fern.
Oh, where did that come from?
Oh, I don't know.
You're so mysterious when you want to be, David.
Oh my God. And what about if I say the word breath? What does that mean?
If
What
I,
comes to your mind?
well, these days it means relief. these days it means peace. But you know, I'll tell you, when you asked me that question, because a while ago you filmed, you know, different people and asked them that question, right, as part of the Breath of Love concert. And I feel bad saying this now because I can't remember what I originally said, but I really hope that my answer was possibility, because that really is what I was feeling that night, and I think I was just so excited to be there that I got my words all jumbled up. But
No, I mean, when you speak from the heart and so eloquently, and it goes beyond that. It has this spiritual connection, and that's why you're such an amazing songwriter.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for being here, and would you mind taking us out with or taking us out? I guess that's what it's called.
Sure.
Ending this lovely visit with one more song.
I certainly will. I had thought about one that I was going to. You know what? Yeah, I will. I will do. I'm gonna make sure that my guitar is still in tune here.
Okay.
And pull up the right. Oh, come now, beautiful.
Come now, beautiful.
Come now, beautiful technology. Are you going to work with me here?
Oh, it will.
Come on, technology. You'll forgive the very, very brief delay as I.
That's okay. By the way, did you see Jerry? And there we are. I love my Jerry.
Wait, let me see.
Right?
Let me see.
Right here. That was like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was at the Hollywood Bowl we went hung out.
I remember that. Or well, I wasn't there physically.
Right.
But I saw the pictures.
Yeah. And there's Jamie. I had the whole family all over the walls.
You do. I have to say, I'm radically envious of
Right.
your, well, because I feel like I feel a part of the family, and I'm so, so thankful to know all of you and connect with you, especially. Um, but I do, when I first met you and Jerry, one of the things that I constantly said over and over and over and over again was, I'm gonna, I must move here.
Right.
I said that over and over and over and over again, and life just kept kind of forcing me to make other decisions.
You allowed life to, you're allowing life to happen.
That and again, see, that's the thing, is like that's a much that's a much more beautiful and eloquent way to put it. But
You should, yeah.
I think it couldn't be more appropriate to end with one of the songs um, that I wrote for you, and the my next breath family, uh, and just that reminds me of how valuable chance relationships are.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. So this is called So Stellar.
So stellar.
You say you love him. Well, I think you're a star who fell hard for a moment. He's off somewhere needing his space. Don't know exactly where you've been. All I know is I am here, he is not, and I am human. Lucky enough to watch you land and get here in his place. To me, that is so, so, so stellar. So, so, so stellar. I say it's your move. Take a step, take a look. Could you see me in a spacesuit? This stupid tie doesn't tie me to you. But if you think you look good, we'll leave together if you want us to. So, so, so stellar. So, so, so stellar. Say goodbye to ground control, the only thing left holding me, and everything I hoped she'd be. And thanks to no more gravity, the affair is meant to be. We'll float forever on and stick it to the moon men who wonder where we've gone singing. So, so, so stellar. So, so, so stellar.
Thank you, Chris Hendricks.
Thank you, David. You want to come up?
Hello, Fern.
Say hi.
Oh my gosh, I love your shirt, Fern.
Hi. Are you
Hi.
okay? Are you okay being up here looking at Uncle David? Hmm?
You're gorgeous. Look at that.
Yes, she's so cute.
You love your daddy, don't you, Fern?